everyone. Just wanted to come along and let you know a little bit more about my new class. It's called SUMMERLONG. It starts on May the 1st and it will run right the way through the summer. It's an online art journaling retreat. So it's a little bit different to what you might normally do in one of my classes or what you might normally do in an art retreat. It's a sort of hybrid of the two. What we're going to be doing is myself and a group of my friends from the UK are going to be doing various different art journaling exercises and visiting lots of different locations around the UK to give you ideas of what you could do when you're out and about in your local community. For those of you who can't get out or live in the middle of nowhere, I know there's quite a few of you, or who, you know, perhaps you have young children and it's just not feasible for you to pack up for a day and go out and about. You can follow us on our adventures, and if you are able to get out and about in your local community, then you can hop on a bus or, you know, whatever, however you get around, and go out for the day. You know, perhaps meet up with a local friend and go out for a cup of tea. That would be nice, wouldn't it? So we're going to visit 10 different locations. They're quite varied so that you can get a nice idea of different places that you can go. So for instance, we've got things like a stately home, which I know quite a few of my American friends have said, what on earth is a stately home? It's basically a really old house, a big mansion type thing. You know, think Mr. Darcy, okay? That's a stately home. We're going to go to man-made parks and woodlands and lakes. One of our girls is going on a sculpture hunt because where she lives there's a lot of sculptures, so she thought she'd do kind of a sculpture crawl around the town, which is handy if you live somewhere where they're doing one of those promotional things, like, you know, like the little painted elephants or the little painted mushrooms or anything like that. Lots of different cities have them, so keep your eye out on your local area news to find out if there's something like that going on in your area. We're going to go to a garden, not necessarily your own garden. It might be a landscape garden or, you know, something like a garden centre or something like that. Really anywhere you can go that you can get inspiration. It's kind of, I'm not going to say exactly like because I didn't think about it until after, but I suppose it's kind of like artist dates. If you do Julia Cameron's book, The Artist's Way, and you're familiar with artist dates, it's a similar kind of thing, but it's not exactly the same. So we're going to be going to all these different locations and taking our art journals and doing lots of different things. And it's not just going to be a case of take a few photos and come back and scrap them or do some painting or whatever. We're going to try lots of different things. We will do flower pressing, leaf printing, brass rubbing. What else have we got? We've got assemblage. We've got somebody's doing found papers and objects and kind of creating a 3D kind of collage thing. We've got imagery and photography, not high-class photography, not like, oh my god, I have to have a DSLR kind of photography. Just some basic tips on how to get really good photographs or, you know, decent snapshots. Even if you've only got an iPhone with you or, you know, a little snappy camera. You could even take a disposable camera and use that, you know, just for a day trip or something. So the whole point of it is getting out and about in your local area, seeing what's happening and taking some inspiration from that for your art journal. Now, I'm taking the inspiration from 3 different books, and by all means, if you want to get the books, once you sign up for the course, you can. There are actually 3 books, but I can't find my 3rd book. The 3rd book is called Urban Sketching, and it's just a paperback book that is all about, as you might suspect, drawing buildings and things and stuff like that. We've also got the Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady. Those of you who've heard me talk about how I got started in art journaling, this is how I got started. I received, not this particular book, I've actually got a beautiful first edition hardbound book, but I bought this a couple of years ago just because I don't mind getting paint on it. Whereas I like to keep my other one for nice and pristine because it's a first edition. This one's got pencil scribblings and all sorts, but I received this when I was 7 for Christmas with a set of watercolours and a blank journal, and this is where I got started. It's basically nature notes. It's, you know, drawings of what she saw. She's a superb watercolour artist. Bits and pieces, mostly, obviously this is mostly flora and fauna because that's what she was interested in, and then she would write about what she did and what she saw and the changes. She'd add in quotes or poems or special days of the month and all that sort of thing. So this is the kind of thing that we're aiming for on the nature side. I can't show you the urban sketching one, but I'll put a link down below. There is a look inside option on Amazon, and that concentrates on drawing buildings and busy urban places, basically structures rather than nature. And then the third book that I recommend is Danny Gregory's Everyday Matters book, or Illustrated Life. In fact, any Danny Gregory book will do absolutely fine. I've got all of them and they're all fabulous. And this basically covers everything else. So, you know, if you want to draw a picture of an animal, or a bottle of ketchup, or a tin of beans, or, you know, whatever you want to draw a picture of, you know, there's stuff in here that will give you ideas and prompts and talk you through it. There's going to be something for everybody. We're covering photography, we're covering painting, we're covering using other types of imagery. We're doing collage, we're doing assemblage, we're doing life drawing, we're doing sketching and sketch notes, we're doing basically everything. Everything you could possibly want to do in an art journal, we're going to do. And we're going to do 2 locations a month, and it will be me and another art journaler. Now, all the art journalers involved in the class are they're not online teachers, but they have some experience of doing classes either online or live, or demoing, or a lot of them have been on design teams and things like that. So they've got experience, but they're not necessarily online teachers, as it were. And all of us are from the UK. Every single one of us. Yes. There are 7 altogether. Hopefully I can remember who everybody is. There's Darcy Wilkinson, who I know a lot of you will know from the Artful Readers Club and from her blog Art and Soul. She is a Letraset demoer. I don't know what her exact title is, but she goes out demonstrating for Letraset with pro markers and things like that. There is Claire Horner, who some of you will know as Got Paint in My Hair. I can't remember her blog name offhand. I will put links to everybody. You will be introduced to everybody in the class, so you don't need to know everybody in advance, but if you want to look them up, you can. Claire is a bit of a jack of all trades. She does all sorts of things, but one of the main things that she does is designing stamps and stencils for some quite well-known companies, actually, mostly in the UK. There's Anam Stubbington, who is my bestie, and she lives in Barcelona. She's absconded the UK. But she is a very well-known scrapbooker and photographer and image alterer. She does restoration of old images and things, you know, when you've got vintage photos with torn corners, she repairs them and all that sort of thing. She's an extremely experienced in everything, basically. I can't put her into a category. I suppose I'd call her a scrapbooker first and foremost, because that's what she's most well known for. But she's been on design teams from here to Timbuktu. She's worked for all sorts of places. My Mind's Eye, I think, was one of the places she worked for. So she's very well known in the scrapbooking community. There is Fiona Charlou. I'm not sure if that's how you say your name. I just realised the other day I've known Fee for getting on for 10 years, and I've never had to pronounce her surname, so I hope I've said that right. Fiona Charlou. She doesn't really do anything particularly in the art community online, but she's an archiver, which I thought would be really interesting. She deals with archives and libraries and history and all that kind of thing, and she does an awful lot of portrait and landscape art in her art journal, and she takes a lot of inspiration from history and culture and oldie worldy stuff like Celtic myths and things like that. So I thought that would be a very interesting mix, not just taking inspiration from now and what is here now, but from the past as well. How many is that? That's 4, plus me. You know me by now, hopefully. If you don't know me, you'll get to know me, because I'll be doing a lesson every month. There's Eveline Timeless, who many of you will know from artjournaling.ning.com. She is very much of the kind of Danny Gregory sort of strain of art journalers. She likes to take her art journal out and about and draw what she sees. She's a big on going out and sitting in the park with her pen. Very much getting out and about and drawing what's in front of her. So she's very much into sketching and not making pages that are too pristine or too finished, you know, and it doesn't have to be perfect, just drawing what you can see. So that will be a lot of fun. And then the final person is Flanksy. Now, Flanksy wishes to remain anonymous. She's not comfortable with being known as herself for an art class. However, she's an extremely talented street artist. She does things with spray paints and layered stencils and lithography and things like that that most of us only dream of doing. So she has actually been to visit Annam over in Barcelona, and they will be doing a whole section on Barcelona street art, which is just going to be fabulous. They're going to be photographing it, they're going to be taking inspiration from it, doing similar kinds of things. If you really wanted to get into it, you could take this out of your art journal and do some street art in your own garden if you wanted to. I'm tempted to do it myself. So, you know, we're not just going to be cutting a stencil that's a nice pretty Celtic pattern and doodling it in our book. We're actually going to be doing layered stencils, where you build up an entire, almost like a screen print, with silk screen printing, where you do layer after layer with different colours. So that is just going to be so much fun. I can't wait for that one. I do enjoy layered stencils, but I don't know how to do them, so we're going to learn. What else are we going to do? Oh gosh, there's so much we're going to do in 5 months. It's going to be crazy, but it's going to be at a nice even pace. So I know a lot of the people who signed up already have long-term illness, and that's absolutely fine. You will be able to keep up with the class, it won't be a problem. The class is going to be split up into 4 weeks for each visit, and we'll do 2 visits concurrently. So for instance, in May there's myself and Claire, and we'll both do 1 week each, and there will be a set of tasks or a worksheet or whatever for you to do. And if you can't get out and about, perhaps you genuinely can't get out in the community or whatever, that's absolutely fine. You can do it on Google Earth. La la! Yes, go on Google Earth on your laptop and go and visit other locations. How about that? Or you can just follow along with us. We're going to be doing vlogs and providing website information and all sorts about the places we're going. So you can always take inspiration from what we're doing instead of doing your own thing. Lots of choice, lots of fun. We are going to build a sense of community by doing mail art swaps, which you will have to optionally sign up for. I'm not going to assume that just because you're doing the class you're going to get involved in the mail art swap. So you will have to actively sign up for that, because it means you have to share your address with at least 5 other people. during the class, because you'll be doing one mail art swap with one person per month. But it can be anything. You could do a postcard, send an arty postcard from where you go. You could do a art journal tip in or an art journal card from, like we do on Art Geeks, to tip into your book. You could send them an envelope that you've decorated while you were there visiting the place, or you could collect brochures and things and send them those to use for collage. You can do anything. There'll be more information in the class, so don't feel that it's got to be some great work of art mail art thing. This is mail art. It's supposed to be pretty on an envelope, but it's building the sense of community and hopefully making some friends out of it. We're also going to be doing online chats, or normal chat facility like we have on Ning. There will be Google Hangouts. All the girls who've got webcams have all said they're quite happy to run a Google Hangout at some point. And it doesn't necessarily have to be an art hangout. We could just have a Friday evening chat one week, just to catch up and get to know each other and really build the sense of community, because that's what an art retreat is all about. It's all about building a community with other people and sharing experiences. And obviously you don't get to do that if you're sitting in a class online on your own at home. But you can share things with the group. And if you want to vlog your trip, or you want to share your art journaling, or you want to share your inspiration, whatever you want to do, you can do it. You can share it with the group. So it really is going to be quite a hands-on class where we're getting to know each other and getting to know the locations. I'm really looking forward to seeing some of the places that you all live, because that's, to me, that's fascinating. I'm not interested in visiting places like the Grand Canyon. It's a big bunch of rock. Whoop. That's not interesting to me. What's interesting to me is seeing the village where you live and the different characters who live in that village, and perhaps the little church that you've got there, or the quirky little post office and things like that. So yeah, that's our art journaling retreat. Registration is open already. If you sign up before May the 8th, you can get the early bird discount. It's currently listed for £50 or $75. And if you are a member of my site, you can already sign up. You can just go in and pay, and it will automatically let you into the class. If you want to sign up via PayPal because you're not a member yet, then you can do so using the link down there. I will put a link to it. I also have a video which I will put a link to somewhere around here that you can click on to go and see a little bit more about some of the locations we're going to, and see photos of the other tutors on the course, and get to know them and familiarise yourself with their names. And yeah, what more can I tell you? Can you tell I'm excited? I've just talked. I'm really looking forward to this class. This class is everything that Eve to Eve was meant to be, but I just couldn't get it to work at the time. I didn't have enough experience of teaching online to get it to work. And now, sort of 5 years on, I've got plenty of experience of running these kind of things. I've got a good setup. We're not on Ning. Okay, we've got our own art journaling space. It's a private class. Nobody outside the class can see anything in the class. The only way they can see anything in the class is if you put it onto our Flickr group, or if you put it onto our Facebook group. But again, Facebook, the group is only for my students. You have to have registered for a class or taught on a class in order to join it. And the Flickr group is private. So it's only people in our group. So you don't have to just share pictures of your art. You could share, pictures of yourself or your family doing your day out, where you went and all that kind of stuff. And we'll all be able to see all the fun stuff that everybody's doing. It's going to be great. Come and sign up. Like I say, it starts on Wednesday, May the 1st. So I think that's a week on Wednesday, a week tomorrow. Oh my goodness, a week tomorrow, wow. And we're going to kick it off with a full week of getting started with our art journaling, with getting ready for going out in the field and journaling while we're out. So we're going to put together a field kit. we're going to sort out a journal of some sort to take with us. Obviously there'll be more information about that in the class. If you want to make a journal specifically, by all means go ahead, but I do recommend you wait until we do the journaling video so that you can see what sort of things we do. And there will also be a video on mail art to introduce you to that if you're not familiar with it. Come and join us. We are open for registration right now. Come and play, please. It's going to be lots of fun. I will see you next video. Bye.